it's easier to talk about an ending like this when it's a non-divisional opponent as well. You get a point now, 6-game point streak. Just talk about that effort in the third period to be able to get it to the overtime and get a hard-earned point.
Yeah, I mean, we talked after the second period about finding a way to win the hockey game. I didn't think we were very good after 40 minutes. I thought they were certainly the better team, and I thought VTech gave us a great chance to be in the game. And obviously we came back from a couple goal deficits there, and we're able to sneak the point out. And obviously it would have been nice to pull it off in overtime, but. We need 2 points every night, but we'll certainly take one. It's better than a regulation loss. That's no doubt about it. But they were the better team. They had the legs tonight. You could see tremendous speed over there. They played with a lot of grit. And we were on our heels quite a bit tonight.
Nothing really came easy in the offensive zone when you look at the real estate that you were provided, the shooting lanes. And when you look at their first 2 goals and even the overtime game winner, a lot of odd man rushes. There was 2 2-on-1s and a breakaway there. Do you think that's a product of just struggling to buy anything in the offensive end?
Well, I think that one of our keys going in was we felt the mobility on their back end was one of their weaknesses. And, I didn't think we took advantage of that enough over the 60 minutes. I thought we had a number of forwards trying to make plays at the blue line, and consequently we were turning pucks over and they were taking it back down into our end. There are some shifts that we did have some sustained ozone, and it was a result of a good forecheck or some physicality. Liam O'Brien's goal was a prime example of that, where a little physical play along the wall creates a turnover, still makes a nice play. But we just didn't have enough of that from our forward group over the course of the 60 minutes to sustain more ozone time. I mean, we went into this game tonight 4th in the whole league in shots against, so giving up 40 shots is not typical of our team. But in saying that, their philosophy, you could see, was automatically low to high and just throw pucks towards the net, and they were doing a good job of winning battles in front to get some redirects, and consequently the shot total was getting bigger as the game went on. But I felt that some of our turnovers at the blue line created some of that defensive zone coverage that we tended to spend tonight in.
And spinning off the shot totals, as you've mentioned, we've talked many times this year about a young defensive core. When you go up against a team like Rockford, where they were not afraid to throw the puck on goal from anywhere in the offensive zone, did you see that add a little bit more stress than usual on your blue line?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a real tough night for our defense and VTech. VTech, when you think about goaltenders, that was a tough night for VTech overall, just because he had a lot of work. He had to work to make saves, and on top of that, our defense were having to battle in front with their forwards. And, let's not forget they lost, 6-3 last night, but they were down 6-1. I know they've had some adversity here in the last 10, and they were ready to play. They were jumping, and, they had some skill and some speed up front. And we did match that at times, but probably not over the course of the game to deserve the 2 points. But, there's multiple teams that win games that they don't probably deserve. But we're going to take that point and certainly move on till tomorrow.
What's next for the Hershey Bears after this game tonight?
Well, I mean, we got, Wilkes-Barre tomorrow, and, it's a big 3 in 2.5 days. We only got back at 3:30 this morning. So, to turn around, play a home game, and now travel to Wilkes-Barre. It's not the ideal 3-3 that we'd like to have, but, we got to go back into that building tomorrow and find a way to win a hockey game. And that's the mindset. It's to reset tomorrow and find a way to beat those guys. And it doesn't matter that it's Wilkes-Barre now. We're down to 20 games, and I think it's going to take about 85 points to get in the playoffs, roughly. So, do the math. We're going to have to win some hockey games, and it starts with tomorrow to hopefully get 5 out of 6. And we'll certainly take 5 out of 6, preferably 6 for 6. But obviously, with just a point tonight, that's not possible. So we'll be ready to go tomorrow and hopefully come out with 5 out of 6 this weekend.
And you kind of just mentioned a little bit, and Matt did a little bit. If you could talk about just like the resiliency of your team, obviously to come in, win 5 out of 6 games, and then tonight a lot of things didn't go your way, but your team did a really good job to kind of fight back and stay in the game.
Well, the mindset's has been excellent here the last since the Rochester game, and we had to tie that up with 2 seconds left in the game. So there is a belief in the room and a resilience about our group right now that we feel like we've got some swagger now that we can come back. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, or during that rough stretch, tonight's game might have been possible, but but we were able to come back twice tonight, 3 times actually, and secure at least 1 point.
So the game got a little aggressive a couple times during the game. Do you think that impacted how the players played?
Well, I think they came out with a lot of urgency tonight, and it was a scrappy game overall, not only from our side of things, but, they had, there was some scrappiness. I thought there could have been 12 or 13 penalties from each team, to be honest with you. It was that type of game. I thought the refereeing was being a little selective, and obviously I think it probably ended up in our favor because we got the 2 goals to make it even a 3-3 hockey game. I did feel that there should have been a call there for us with Barber with a partial breakaway there in overtime. But like I said, I think it could have been at 11, 12 penalties each side because there was a lot of hacking and whacking and cross-checking going out there. And they were just, doing the best they could in terms of selecting what they felt was penalties.
Especially with regards to your quick turnaround, obviously that third goal was a bit unlucky, able to fight your way back into it. But do you view this result as more of a point gain from the overtime or a point dropped with the loss?
Well, I think that where we are in the standings, 2 points is ideal. If you're sitting pretty in first or second, like Lehigh or Wilkes-Barre, tonight's one of those nights where you just, you'd be happy for the point. But in saying that, the way the game transpired over the course of the 62 minutes, I think that we should take the point and move on. And, everybody you can view a shoot or an overtime or shoot loss whatever way you want. You can look at it as a loss. I look at it as we take a point. It's not a regulation loss in the standings, and we move on. And I think that's the positive way of looking at it, and that's what we do in our room.
Thanks,
Okay, thanks.
All right, stand by, one player.